I smell in the car. Have you ever smoked in this car? So you can either step out of the car or I can pull you out of the car. Get it out. I just got tased.
I smell weed in the car. Have you ever smoked in this car? Nobody. I don't smoke or nothing. So you can either step out of the car or I can pull you out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car now. That audio is from the body-worn camera of a sheriff's deputy. It is the sound of a bureaucratic threshold being crossed like odor of marijuana and probable cause. But in the dark, on the side of a road, those words translate into something much simpler: a door opening onto chaos. Think of a glass pane held perfectly flat. One firm tap a right spot and the entire structure doesn't just crack, it disintegrates into 1,000 unrecognizable pieces. That is what a routine traffic stop becomes when a hidden firearm meets an unyielding will. Before we go deeper into what the documents actually show, make sure you're subscribed to EvidenceAxis because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence. The narrative begins not with gunfire but with paperwork. A verbal warning about crossing a fog line, a Kenneth Dehart explaining he was just putting his hair up, a borrowed car registered to his grandmother. The exchange is disarmingly mundane. I just got done painting my mama's house, he tells the deputy. This is the parallel narrative, the performance of normalcy. You hear the deputy's voice, calm, even using her first name Shelby. Clip 3.
My name's Shelby, I work for the Blount County Sheriff's Office. I stopped you not because you were all over the road.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice it. I just put my hair up.
Putting your hair up?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had anything to drink or anything?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
No. I'm really just leaving. No, I'm just leaving Suburban.
Okay.
Just got back from Gallenberg Pittman.
Cool.
Just got a phone with my son. I said, son, you should have came home because he hurt his knee real bad at the GP game. And I literally just got the phone with him.
Okay. Did you go to the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
We literally just got done.
Okay.
They're still there. I literally can show you. I just got the phone with my son.
I believe you.
And,
where are you headed to tonight?
I'm on my way home.
Where you live at?
Alcoa.
Alcoa?
Yes,
okay. Go for it. You care to see your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance, please? All right. Thank you.
It's a technique, it reduces the power distance, yet beneath the cordial surface the officer is processing a high volume of information: the expired tags, the multiple insurance cards, the specific physical behavior of someone who is spinning a dense web of justification to obscure a simple truth. He was on the wrong side of the road. He was just leaving a football game. He has 5 kids. It's a flood of biographical detail designed to short-circuit suspicion. You keep looking at the road, but the threat is on the inside the car with him. The situation escalates on a single pivot point. The deputy returns from her cruiser. Tone shifts from consensual chat to lawful demand.
So, I smell in the car. Have you ever smoked in this car?
I don't smoke or nothing.
Okay, you don't smoke or nothing?
No.
Has anybody ever smoked in the car?
Nobody. This is my
Okay.
grandma's car.
Okay, I got you.
Bogus, man.
Okay.
Man.
Well, I smell it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you step out and hang out with me. Okay. My partner's going to get here. I'm going to search as long as everything's good. I'll get you.
I smell weed in the car. I'm gonna have you step out. Watch the cognitive dissonance detonate in real time. The driver instantly reframes the encounter. That's bogus, man. This is my grandma's car. Don't do me like that. He tells her to get a dog. He insists he's refusing a search. The deputy calmly explains the Lee moment: probable cause. Pennsylvania v. Mimms. He can't refuse. This is the irony explosion. He demands a K9 unit as if it were a magic talisman that invalidates an officer's olfactory evidence, while simultaneously knowing that K9 is a ticking clock he cannot afford. He wasn't fighting a legal battle. He was buying time. He was weighing a binary choice: the penitentiary or the pavement. He had made up his mind.
Like it's me, man. My own black, and they just being messy.
It ain't got nothing to do with that, brother.
I guarantee you run a dog right here. We won't the dog get on this car.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sit right here.
Our dogs don't hit on, and there's not a dog coming out here. It's me and my partner.
Well, I'm refusing to search.
No, there's no refusing. So when I smell the odor of, I have probable cause to search the vehicle.
I need you to get a dog, ma'am. I'm refusing to search.
There's no refusing.
There's no. Go get your partner and tell him to come over and sniff.
Okay, my partner is not a dog. My partner's a person.
Okay,
that's on the way.
Your partner come sniff. I'm refusing to search.
That's fine. You can't refuse a search.
Why can't I refuse a search?
Because I've got probable cause to search the vehicle because of the smell.
Now, why they trying to be messy for no reason?
I'm not trying to be messy with you, brother. I'm trying to make this easy. Okay.
I'm just
Here is the ticking clock question you have to ask yourself when a person realizes that the next 10 seconds will permanently define the rest of their existence. What violent geometry can unfold inside the cramped cabin of an SUV? The backup unit is 11 minutes away. 11 minutes is an eternity in a high-risk stop.
So the backup is here, and the closest that I could see is it took from about 11 minutes for the backup unit to arrive. So this is incredibly important information. So it's an 11-minute wait, which is a really long time if you're just standing there going back and forth with a person for the backup unit to arrive.
The driver knows the net is closing. The deputy cannot wait. She transitions from verbal commands to physical extraction. You can either step out or I can pull you out. The second officer arrives, they converge. This is where the clinical training meets the biological reality. The driver is tased. The prongs hit the left bicep area. He pulls the wires out. In that confined space, a conducted electrical weapon becomes a chaotic variable. One deputy suffers unintentional exposure to the charge. The driver, a felon prohibited from possessing a firearm, reaches for the vehicle leads are hidden inside the vehicle. What happens next is a flash of fire in a glass box. 2 officers are shot at near point blank range. One will not survive.
35 shots fired. I'm hit. 334's hit. Ah! Leg! Ah! 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 Leg! Ah! 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 Help! 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 330, 335, 344's down. I've been hit.
They both went in. That's the refrain. They both went in. The footage freezes on the muzzle flash, but the audio continues. You hear a deputy, herself wounded by gunfire, crawl to her partner. You hear her radio call, 335. Shots fired, I'm hit, 344's down. Then, the sound of transition. She doesn't freeze. She doesn't surrender to the paint. She asks a passerby to twist it tighter. Honey, I gotta get this on to help my partner.
Greg fled back towards town on Severe Road. I need your help.
Can I do anything?
Yes, get out. I need your help.
Tell me what you need me to do.
I gotta get this on to help my partner. Help me twist this, please.
I got you.
Twist it really tight. Twist it again. Oh my God. Okay. Twist it again. Twist it as hard as you can, okay?
I got you.
That's good. Put it in the thing.
It's there.
Okay.
I think he's gone. Oh my God.
Here, there.
345.
Do you need
I've got a tourniquet applied.
Have you got
I'm trying to get to 344. So the suspect's gone. He went
that way.
I gotta get to my partner.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah. My people are on the way.
Do you need to
Open
sit
my
down?
car door. Give me my mic.
You need to sit down.
I need to get.
Get in the truck.
You need to sit down. You need to sit down. You need to sit down.
This is not a natural human reaction. It is a conditioned reflex forged by training. In the FBI's study Violent Encounters, a study of felonious assaults on our nation's law enforcement officers, researchers documented a recurring mindset of cop killers. One offender stated, "I wasn't going back to the penitentiary, it was going to be either me or you." That was the calculation inside that vehicle, a passion but a cold utility. A loaded firearm plus a convicted felon equals a guarantee of incarceration. The only door out was through those officers.
To be either me or you. It was real simple. If it was a situation where I can see it out, I'll squeeze out any way I can to get out. If I've got to somebody, whatever, if I'm trying to get away, then get out of my way. It's real simple. Just take me out, take me down, or I'm going to take you down. That was my mindset. And this was a thread that rang true with several of the people who took out officers. So people wonder, why is it that this person engaged the officers this way? And there is a theory. He is an ex-felon. Inside the vehicle, he had a firearm. An ex-felon and a firearm means you are going back to prison. And the mindset exists for so many people.
They both went in. The aftermath is a grim audit of procedure. The dash cam and body cam footage from the Blount County Sheriff's Office, now a matter of public record, allows us to dissect the fatal geometry of a passenger side approach versus a driver's side extraction.
Incredibly tough to watch, but there's some things to definitely cover because I believe this is a video that can be used for officers going forward, some things to talk about. So here we can see that there's a crossfire challenge with both of the officers on the opposing sides of the vehicle. The officers made the decision to be on the same side of the vehicle, so Deputy Eggers came around to the driver's side, so there was no longer a crossfire challenge. So So vehicle extractions, you hear me talk about them all the time, especially when I'm on the Sovereign Citizen videos. Training vehicle extractions is incredibly important because there's a lot of things that need to happen. There are seatbelts that are on people. We have to have lethal coverage and low lethal coverage a lot of times because we don't know what's inside of a vehicle. And training vehicle extractions is incredibly important. So in this situation, we have the other deputy on low lethal utilizing the taser. We see that the two prongs hit the driver inside of his left bicep area or his upper left arm, and it was not effective. He's just pulling the prongs out as the taser is cycling through. And we can see the second deployment of the taser is actually effective, and it's causing some serious challenges for the driver, and he's screaming through this. What we see here is that the deputy is affected by the taser deployment when she's attempting to extract the driver from the vehicle. This is unintentional CEW exposure, conducted electrical weapon exposure. It can happen in that small confined space during that extraction, and it hurts. I went to taser instructor school. I've been tased. It's very, very painful. So she took that ride and she had to step back from the situation while the taser was cycling for the suspect. Deputy McCowan is instantly hit and he goes down. Deputy Eggers is hit. She transitions to another position. She is able to engage a suspect and discharges her firearm at the suspect vehicle after being hit. She then
The illumination of the night sky by takedown lights and the spotlight, the challenge of night vision degradation when returning to a cruiser to check a temporary tag that comes back with no insurance. These are not minor details. They are survival architecture. Every vehicle stop is a potentially lethal threat, a maxim that is easy to recite in a training room and searingly difficult to execute when a driver is showing you video freshly painted house and complaining about his knee surgery.
Every vehicle stop contains a potentially lethal threat. That is one of the reasons why I harp so heavily on officer safety. And what can start off as a calm exchange and interaction between the officer and the occupant of the vehicle can quickly...
The seduction of the harmless encounter is the deadliest weapon a suspect has. The performance was perfect until the very moment it wasn't. Kenneth Dehart evaded capture for 5 days. He was taken into custody in Knoxville. The symbolic gesture sometimes employed in these cases, placing the fallen officer's handcuffs on the suspect, reverberates through profession. It closes a circuit of betrayal. But no handcuffs can close the gaping wound left by a decision made in a split second, the choice to fire through a glass window at two human beings who were simply doing their job. The trial for first-degree murder is a pending legal process. Our interest lies not in the verdict but in the evidence, the sequence of de-escalation, the verbal judo, the tactical repositioning, and the sudden, irrevocable eruption of violence. Why did the extraction fail? Because the suspect had decided long before the sirens lit up that he would not be taken alive quietly. The badge gave the command, the gun gave the answer. This brings us to the center of the forensic fury. We meticulously analyzed the gap between policy and pavement. The deputy utilized the PA system to direct the vehicle. She altered approach driver side to passenger side to disrupt the suspect's expectations. She maintained a free gun hand. All textbook, yet the textbooks rarely account for the sheer, nihilistic speed of a man who has already run out of legal exits. He wasn't arguing about his rights, he was arming himself. That is the moment where the documentary evidence stops being a training tape and starts being a testament. The voice on the radio, Strainprit, twisting a tourniquet, is the sound of a system trying to hold back chaos with a strip of nylon.
After being hit and her partner going down, is able to take out a tourniquet, put the tourniquet on, and ask a citizen to assist her at the scene. This is one of the most challenging situations to obviously be in. There's so much that's going on and some things that I want to specifically talk about. Would any of the things that I mentioned earlier have changed the outcome? There's no way of saying that. It's impossible. We want to look at options that can enhance our ability to survive these types of situations. This is something that I really want to say. So frequently I see people say that women can't be officers. Women can't be officers. The people who are saying that, I want you to say, when was the last time that you were engaged by gunfire, hit by that gunfire, able to put on a tourniquet and then engage a suspect after the fact? If you've been through that and you want to say that this deputy shouldn't be, you're being disrespectful to her, in my opinion.
Just took a video right there. Just painted it. The banality of the prelude makes the scream of the aftermath almost impossible to reconcile. They both went in. The moral architecture of this case is not about a plant or a traffic infraction. It is about the catastrophic imbalance between a lawful command and an unlawful answer. We watch the deputies pull on the driver's arm. We watch him resist. We hear him claim racism, claim injustice, claim he did nothing wrong. This is a psychological smokescreen. It's easier to fight a cultural war than to face the barrel of your own felony. When he realizes the feat extraction will succeed, he does not submit. He escalates to the singular, irreversible act that extinguishes a life and shatters a family. The suspect crawled into the shadows. Deputy Greg McCowan did not.
About a week after this occurred, the suspect was taken into custody. So Deputy Eggers survived. Sadly, Deputy McCowan succumbed to his injuries. The suspect, Kenneth Dehart, evaded police for nearly 5 days before he was captured at a home in Knoxville the day before Deputy McCowan's funeral. He was charged with first-degree murder. At the time of this recording, his trial is set for for September. Something important to share is that I've talked to you about the different publications that I read, and this is an old publication that still rings true, and I want to talk to you about suspects and their mindset. The feds interviewed a whole bunch of people who ended up taking the lives of police officers. This is not what this suspect said, but another suspect. It's really, really interesting. He said in an interview, "I wasn't going back to penitentiary. That was my mindset. I had made up my mind to use whatever violence I had to. I wasn't going back. It was going to..."
Deputy Shelby Eggers stayed in the fight bleeding and lived. That is the difference between a predator and a protector.
In the fight after being hit by gunfire, and I know a lot of people would not do that and don't have the ability to do that. So this is the somber moment. This isn't a time to be smiling or anything like that. It's a horrific thing, and in September, I hope that justice is served. One interesting point that I'd like to share with you is that when a person is taken into custody, there's something that is done in some departments, and is that they take the officer whose life was taken and they use their handcuffs to place on the suspect that took the officer's lives. And I don't know if that's what happened in this situation, but it's one of the things that in policing that is done in places, and I hope that it doesn't ever have to happen again.
Now, look at the public record. Navigate to the Blount County Sheriff's Office official press release from February 20 general arrest warrant affidavit for Kenneth Dehart. Read the narrative of the deputy. Compare the dry, legal prose of the probable cause affidavit to the visceral audio of the body cam. Ask yourself this: where in the traffic stop does the document cease to capture the danger? At what line does the ink fail to convey the terror? Tell us in the comments below. Which procedural element, the approach, the verbal command, the extraction, or the medical response, strikes you as the most instructive and the most haunting? For analysis that stays true to the case file and never wavers into speculation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to EvidenceAxis. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single exhibit. The evidence doesn't lie.